The goal of this morning's run is to do 20 Ks and to literally just finish it and not feel like shit. So it's going to be hopefully below 150 heart rate. So we're going to try to keep it between 135 and 150. If you ever want to keep your heart rate down for a longer run especially, and at the beginning of the run you can always feel that cool, you've got a bit of gas in the tank, like it's pretty easy to keep that heart rate down and keep that pace up. Don't, trust me, and take it down, take it a lot slower at the beginning, especially for your longer runs, say 15K plus, and you won't regret it, because by the end, if you start pacing it at the beginning and keep it a little bit higher, so closer to 150, whatever your goal is, and then try bring it down near the end, you're going to end up running very slow at the end. You're going to end up hurting, especially if you are building up your mileage over time. So biggest tip there is to start nice and slow. So if your heart rate say 130 at the beginning, don't try increase it, rather keep it there and let it naturally increase, because it is going to increase over time. But that's me. I want to run before it starts getting too busy with the work traffic, so I'll catch up afterwards. So I'm done finally. So 20K is done. Had to run a lot slower than I usually would have for a 20K. Not that I'm sprinting a 20K, but just was a little bit disappointed with the speed that I got. I think I was running at like 6:38 per K, which is slower than I was this time last year. But training period has been shorter. Clearly I'm not as fit as I was then, but it will build up. It might have literally just been because I had a rough night of sleep, because I ate too much yesterday, because I had too much coffee this morning, or purely because I peed like 15 times during that run. It's a massive problem. If you have any suggestions on what to do to avoid peeing all the time besides practice, please drop in the comments below. But it was a good run overall. When I say running slowly, obviously, as I've said before, if you've watched any of my previous videos, what we're doing is we're working on your aerobic capacity. So we're working on your ability to utilize oxygen and convert energy in your body to run for longer. And you need to stay at a heart rate relative to you, your age, your fitness level. And when you are running, your speed is going to be relative to you. So when I say slow, it's slow relative to me. When I say slow for someone else like a pro, that is probably fast relative to me. When I compare myself to the pros, I'm like, I am very, very, very slow compared to them. And it does get us down when we're like, this person's like, oh, I've gone for an easy run, and it's like 3 minutes 30 a K for a 10K, and you're like, Jesus, it's not a very slow run. But at the end of the day, you need to compare yourself to you, and you need to recognize the level that you are at that current time. So enough about that. Nutrition during the run, because I'm doing a longer runs, needed to hydrate. So water isn't enough. You need some electrolytes to be replacing if you are sweating, especially. Obviously in the colder environments like I'm in, I don't need as much, but I did still have 2 of these, which is probably why I peed a lot. But I do pee a lot anyway, so I feel like I'm dehydrated all the time anyway. But I also had 3 of these during the run. So 1 before the run, and then 1 45 minutes in, and then 1 an hour and a half in, purely because I feel like I don't get enough pre-workout fuel in, because you can't, and also your body needs to utilize the glucose that is in your bloodstream while you are running. So I would highly recommend, if you are running anywhere over an hour, getting at least 1 of these to take in. If you're doing an hour run, do it about halfway through. If you're doing like an hour and a half run, do it about 45 minutes through. And then 2 hours, I did 45 minutes, or before I did 45 minutes, and I did, the dog's having a good time, before 45 minutes in, and then an hour and a half in, so I still had about 30 to 40 minutes left to run. And definitely highly recommend it. In terms of post-workout nutrition that I have right now, I will mix a protein shake, which is already down here for me, and then I will most likely make my favorite, which is surprisingly toast with cheese and an egg or mince on top. So I know it's filthy, I'm a filthy creature, caveman, but it's literally getting my carbs in, so I'm replenishing. Obviously, always remember performance and weight loss are 2 different things. So I'm trying to fuel myself, I'm trying to take in energy. So I'm having my toast, For the carbs, I'm having the cheese for some protein, some fats, and then the mince I will add sometimes, or the egg I will add sometimes for some extra protein. Definitely important not to skip your nutrition side of things. It's going to be very important to fuel your runs if you are looking for performance, but at the end of the day, it's up to you what you eat. For me, cheese on toast is just one of my favorite things that I can eat a lot of, so that's why I add that in there, and then add the egg on top there depending if I feel like it, or some mince, or just have literally just more cheese on toast. So all depends on you. Obviously closer to the race I will be refining my nutrition just a little bit more to be a little bit cleaner, because the cheese will start making me feel a bit sick if I am training a lot harder, but like I said, at the end of the day, it depends on you. It depends on what you can eat, what you can stomach. In terms of time before, because I actually did eat something before, I had a smoothie with 100 grams of oats, 50 to 100 grams of cherries, and then a protein shake about an hour to an hour and a half before the run. Yes, I'm getting fuel in there, so you might say, why take these? Because I feel it's not enough. Every time I've had extra gels or extra fuel during a run, especially a long one, it's just been so much better. So definitely recommend playing around with your nutrition. I'm going to be doing that throughout this journey, so it might change a lot. If you have any suggestions based on what I've currently had, if you've done any ultra marathons or any long runs, definitely throw some suggestions down in the comments below. But I'm done with that. Puppies are moaning for my attention because I've neglected them as I've gotten home for this video for you. So I'll be going. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next video.